Greetings, guys. Normally, I try to be smiling when this camera comes on. Facebook Live takes the ugliest possible photo of you or the ugliest moment that you have in your video and decides to use that as the cover. I don't know why. So, even when I be smiling when we first come on, that's not what it captures for the cover at all. And I'm just like, that is crazy. But hey, happy Sunday, y'all. How are you all doing? I'm Fancy, the award-winning publisher and editor-in-chief of SwagHer magazine. Um, as I like to say on my Instagram, I make I make you look good. Sorry, I had a message come through and I was trying to look at that. But yeah, so today I was like, I realized I've been hopping on kind of talking about the different promotions Swagger has and um well, for one, I went live on my Instagram page because I realized that a lot of Black business women follow me there, but it hasn't really been seeming as active. I don't think they know that I be going live on the Swagger page here. So I actually went live and just kind of shared a little bit about myself. The magazine, not really a lot, but I just feel like I want you all to understand where Swagger comes from so that you understand like the beauty of working with us, the beauty of working with independent media or publishing company that has been around for almost 15 years, but that is still very much boots on the ground, getting it out the trenches still. Like we have not made it yet. I'm still waiting on the moment. I'm very transparent about that. Like I feel like we've had a lot of success, but there's so much more that I would like to see for Swagger Magazine. Um, and I think we're going to get there because by the grace of God, we just always seem to end up at just like we have other opportunities to come along the way. And so I just kind of want people to know more about us, who we are and what we stand for. So Swagger Magazine is for the intentional Black woman who likes to keep it real. We are a lifestyle and personal development magazine, as well as we double as a public relations boutique. So whether we're sharing the stories of others or we're sharing the stories of our clients, there's some type of storytelling going on at all times with us. And then what else did I tell you? So we started in Baton Rouge in 2010, July 2010. So we're going to be celebrating our 15 years in July of this year. And look, I hadn't even mentioned the fact that we are planning an activation to take place during the biggest Black festival in the US, I guess you would say, in New Orleans, Louisiana. So we are gearing up for that promotion. I'm very excited about it. We hadn't just really announced it because we've been trying to lock in a location, which has been very hard. If there are any venues in the New Orleans area who would be ideal for that festival type of setting, um, we need a place that kind of has some space, open space for what we're planning to do because it's going to be more of like a kind of like a rest activation sort of thing, self-care sort of thing. So that's just one of the many promotions that we're working on. But again, we are for the intentional Black woman who likes to keep it real. So with that being said, we try to feature women who aren't ashamed to share their stories. Women that are authentic, who are all about helping and uplifting other Black women. Um, we're really passionate about that. Like we don't do the mean girl stuff. I try not to do that personally because I know what it's like to be bullied or on the receiving end of, you know, black women who are mistreating other Black women, I guess you would say, or who are, because I think we now live in this generation where there is so many followers. I have never been really good at being a follower. So I do what I can. I feel like I'm a great person to collaborate with, but I'm just not that, oh, I'm gonna copy everything you do and say. Like that's not me. I'm gonna always kind of be a free thinker, I guess you would say. So, and I encourage that for other Black women. Like see for yourself. Like I've always had that belief about everything. Before just going off, I will listen to what someone says because I do believe in being wise and making wise decisions. But I just feel like we have to experience a lot of things on our own for ourselves because that's how we really learn from them. I'm not saying just keep bumping your head. You might want to bump your head in a smarter way or a way that's not going to hurt as much. I definitely encourage you to do that. But I also encourage you to make certain you're doing your due diligence instead of just following behind people. That's just me. But that is neither here nor there. That's just kind of trying to describe the type of women that we like to feature in SwagHer magazine. So we have been around 15 years, as I've said. The magazine was started because I was like 23, somewhere between 23 and 25, and I was actually I guess you say working with the set of affluent Black women, and they would oftentimes share their stories with me because they could see, how eager I was and anxious I was at that young age to make my mark in the world, like to experience success, to be settled down, and they were trying to explain to me um, that it doesn't happen overnight, like you don't have to have it all figured out overnight. And that was a big challenge for me. Even though they were telling me that in so many ways, in so many forms, I did not get that until much later in life. Like now I get it, like, but that's just kind of how I always thought, because that's kind of how I was brought up to believe. So it was a hard pill for me to swallow. But once I was able to swallow it, I realized I was able to take back some of my own power. I was able to alleviate some of the anxiety that I was having about who I wanted to be as a businesswoman and where I should be as a businesswoman. So I've just kind of been chilling. I'm like, okay, good things are going to happen for us. When they do, I'm going to thank God for those things. I have faith. But I also realized like Rome wasn't built in a day. And people would tell me that all the time, but I really wasn't understanding it. However, we did experience quite a bit of success when I relocated to Atlanta for 2 years from 2014 to 2016. And that kind of helped us get our foot in the door. It helped with our Instagram following. Now, I don't know what's going on with our Instagram page right now. It's just like it is not growing the way it should be. But I do kind of feel like we are shadow man there. That's how it seems. And for years, we've been trying to figure out how to get around this shadow ban, and it hasn't been working. But I don't know how to attract Black women without saying these Black things, I mean, we try to say other stuff as well that might be, I guess you say, frequently used within the Black community that people might be attracted to. But it has really been a challenge dealing with Instagram. I'm not gonna lie about that. But that's just kind of like talking about our growth and how we have grown over the years. So in 2020, I was a bulletin writer. I was one of the first bulletin writers. So that really also helped us excel for a little while because, of course, bulletin was a short-lived program, and it was a great time. I will say that. And that's when we had the Higher South. Some of you all may have even been featured in the Higher South. And when Facebook discontinued their program, then of course we had to discontinue it as well because that's where the funds was coming from. So we've been around for some years. I feel like we have made, I'm not gonna say made our mark, but we definitely have contributed to a lot, I feel like, within the culture. Just and that's what I love about like saying for the intentional Black woman who likes to keep it real, because I I'm not saying I don't like women who like to sugarcoat things, but like I like for women to be their authentic selves. I love, like, even sometimes when and I really came up with that because I would look through the comments and I would see these business women with the most shadiest comments, y'all. And I was like, you know what? Go ahead on, girl. Like, be yourself. If this what you really think, I love to see women see that they can be more than their business. Like, yeah, I have this business, but I'm also this person as well. That's really important to me, and because that's important to me, I prefer to be myself at all times as opposed to feeling like I have to put on these airs and all this other stuff. Excuse me, y'all. I have really been dealing with, I think it's allergies. That's what I'm starting to think. But as opposed to feeling like I have to be this perfect made up person, I don't want to be that because I know that it's not me. Like I don't have it all figured out. Um, Sometimes I'm way behind. Sometimes I might be ahead. You never really know exactly what you're gonna get. That's kind of how I feel. But that is oftentimes what you might see in SwagHer magazine because the magazine is such a excuse me, is such a huge reflection of me and the women that make up the magazine. So if you haven't checked out our stories on swaggeronline.com, I encourage you to do that. Excuse me, I see Jermel just dropped the link in the comments. Y'all, these allergies are are kicking my behind. But you can see the link there. And then he also dropped the link to our PR website, whereas you can go there to see all the different packages we may have. Y'all, I'm just trying to get through. When I get done with this live here, because I did one on Instagram, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be done for the day, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's get into the packages that I wanted to tell you all about. So we have our excuse me, we have our travel books. These are mini chic magazines. They're only 12 to 16 pages long. They can be customized for the client. They come with, like, if you get it customized, then you would get the cover page, you get the back cover page. You get a story on the inside, like this story, and then you would also get a an interview, a feature about you, like within the magazine as well. So those packages are $6.99. They include not just these, well, they include 150 of the copies of your travel book. You can order additional for an additional fee, but we start at 150. You can pass these out in your swag bags and as marketing tools, in gift sets. You can put them, if you have a location, you can leave them, as literature in your office space for your clients to read as they're sitting and waiting or receiving your services, whatever the case may be, and they can learn more about you. So there are so many different things you can do with the travel books. I just don't think people understand or open up their mind to be as creative enough to learn about them. Um, Also, if you are watching, I would love to know where you are tuned in from. I see Jarmel posted that in the comments. Excuse me, as well as he has mentioned the next package that I am about to be mentioning, which is the Peachy Press package. If you are in the Atlanta area, we're going to be there next weekend, and we are doing live interviews, which include a feature on the CEO Chatter podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the swaggeronline.com feature, a newsletter. It seems like I keep leaving some places out. That's why I was thinking. I don't know what the other places are, but if you are interested in that, the Peachy Press package, you can see this comment that is linked here, and then you can go to the link that is within the comment to purchase the package. So it is the Peachy Press package. Oh, you also get the Facebook Live interview because we're going to stream live as we are recording. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that might be, well, that's everything pertaining to that package. Um, of course, I think it's a great package, especially if you're one of those who are in the ATL area. Like, why not? We're coming to you. All you have to do is show up to the location and look cute and talk about your business. Of course, you have to pay for it, but yeah, it's a good package, and it's only $300. So, also, as I mentioned in my Instagram broadcast, I had some women from DC reach out to see if I would be interested in doing it in the DC area. I guess they didn't know I'm actually in the DC area, so I would love to do this in DC or any area within the DMV, because you know how everything is kind of connected. So if y'all are interested in a certain area and you can get like 2 to 3 people, then hey, let me know. And we offer affiliate fees. So say you purchase a package and your friends, 2 of your friends want to purchase a package, you get money back for that. Like, we believe in working with people. We're very passionate about our connections because we understand how our connections all help us to link together and go further, you know. So that is the Peachy Press package. um Excuse me, YouTube is that sixth place that I was looking for. I see that Jormel just posted. um and then we also have the features in our digital issue. We have 2-page features. We already have a front cover, as far as like that's going to be a celeb. And then we have our back cover available and our inside covers available. The 2-page feature is $4.50. It includes the 2 pages, like a 2-page spread in the issue. Um, excuse me, a 2-page spread in the issue, a SwagHeronline.com interview, and a What's Going On interview on our Facebook Live page. So it includes all of those placements. That's a total of 3. And then if you're interested in the inside cover package, that one includes the inside cover, a 2-page spread in the issue, the What's Going On interview, the SwagHeronline.com interview. And then the back, and that one is $600. Is $600 for each cover. And if you are interested in the back cover, then that one is $1,000. You get all the stuff that I just mentioned within that inside cover package, but you also get a CEO chatter interview as well. So you also get those other placements wherever the podcast is distributed. So it's quite a few opportunities for you guys if anybody's interested in anything. Excuse me, anything. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever saw somebody go live before when they were sick. I'm not even sick. It's just this with my throat. It's like trying to talk is really difficult right now. Um, but if you're interested in any of the packages, you can always reach out via the page, or you can visit our website at, let me drop it here in the chat, and then also show it to you guys. Excuse me. It's www.swaggerpr.com. And then we have an all products page if you go under the shop, and you can go there and actually be able to just see all the packages that we have, with the exception of those inside covers and the back cover. If you're interested in those, then you see how I have that contact us at advertise@swagger.net. You can reach out to us via email, and we will, take care of you there. So those are all the packages. Again, we'll be in Atlanta next weekend, this upcoming weekend. And I really hope to see some of you all there. So far, we've had 2 ladies to book, and I'm very excited about meeting them and sharing their stories. And I just want y'all to be a part of that, especially if you're in that area. Atlanta is one of our biggest markets. So it only makes sense, our biggest market actually is so funny because I've only been to New York one time, but that is our actual biggest market. But I guess because we have quite a few connections in New York, that's why we do so well. But I am grateful for y'all for putting us on and telling people about us. So yeah, that is everything that I want to share with you guys. I'm about to hop off before my throat just totally gives out on me. But peace and blessings, and y'all have a great day.